We've seen the rise of Hollow Earth threats, but what if humanity has been looking in the wrong direction? The next great kaiju catastrophe might not come from below, but from the depths of space. After Skar King and Shimo's rampage in Rio de Janeiro, humanity is rushing to shut down the Hollow Earth portals. But while we're focused on the dangers beneath us, something far more terrifying could be on the horizon. I'm talking about none other than Space Godzilla. Welcome home, residents, it's your Mayor Alistair back once again with some fresh, hot, radioactive hints about the next Monsterverse film. Now, before you type in the comments, no, that wasn't the official synopsis, but we have something that tells us there may be some potential truth behind this. After years of fan speculation, Godzilla x Kong 3 may deliver exactly what the community have been asking for, but with a twist. Now, for those living under a rock, you're probably asking, there's a Godzilla from space? Yes, and he's the best character in the Godzilla franchise, so it makes sense that fans would want him to appear in the Monsterverse. But who is he? I can hear you shouting at your screen. Well, let me tell you. Now, we've already spoken about Space Godzilla in the past, so I'll be brief. This beast first appeared in Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla back in 1994. And his origin is absolutely insane. The theory is that Godzilla's DNA, his G-cells, somehow ended up in space, either through Biollante, a previous mutant kaiju, or Mothra, who flew off into space carrying some of Godzilla's genetic material. Once exposed to a black hole's cosmic radiation, those cells mutated into a being that can only be described as Godzilla, but better in every way. Bulkier, more intelligent, more powerful, melding its genetics with extraterrestrial elements. Rocking a set of giant glowing crystals on his shoulders and a mean-looking face, Space Godzilla is one of the most powerful enemies the G-Man has ever faced. He's got telekinesis, a nasty energy ray called the Corona Beam, and the ability to generate massive crystal formations that siphon power straight from the Earth. He even built his own fortress out of them. Not the coziest of homes, but it's good enough for him. But here's where things get interesting. The Monsterverse might actually be setting up Space Godzilla's arrival. Dan Stevens, the actor that plays Trapper, potentially revealed that aliens will be a threat in the upcoming Monsterverse film, with this post signing off with, "Watch this space." Now, of course, this could simply be telling his fans to follow him and stay tuned for updates, but the emphasis on each of those words makes me think there's more to it. And he's subtly stating that fans should watch the stars, because something is coming. And current leaks support this. The emojis having Godzilla, Kong, and Planet Earth also highlight these space themes he's trying to hint towards. Now, this wouldn't be the first time aliens have been in the Monsterverse. Of course, Ghidorah came from the stars to terraform and wipe out all life on the planet. And from what we know about the next Monsterverse film, it's set to focus on Godzilla, a big difference from the previous two where Kong has taken center stage. But it's also stated to have him be the antagonist of the film. But what if the leakers have it mixed up, and it's not Godzilla that's evil, but rather Space Godzilla? But how would a Titanus Gojira even come from space? It's not like Biollante or Mothra have sent his DNA off-world. Well, I believe that this is the first step to a full-on alien invasion film, like Independence Day or War of the Worlds. And Space Godzilla is the result of a spacefaring race that abducted a Godzilla specimen, performed experiments on it, and have had it sent down to wipe out all life on the planet, to begin the process of colonization. As we know, Space Godzilla is covered in crystals and can even create them, rising them out of the ground. You know what else is covered in crystals? The Hollow Earth. These unearthly structures look almost alien, so perhaps these are the work of the alien race that tried and failed to destroy the planet once already, with the number one factor being Godzilla, the king of the monsters, the protector of the planet. So, to combat that, they need their own. but even stronger. It honestly makes sense. Without sounding too much like Joe Brody and Godzilla, I believe that humanoid aliens have been in the shadows of the Monsterverse all along, quietly manipulating things to direct us towards humanity invading the Hollow Earth, to wipe out the Titan population, making colonization of the planet effortless. Less humans, less monsters, less fuss. I believe SpaceGodzilla could be a real threat, something where Godzilla has to question his own morality. He's always been a protector, keeping the natural order in check, and here comes a member of his species that puts all that into question. Maybe humanity deserves it. After all, they've done enough chaos and destruction throughout their existence. But SpaceGodzilla wouldn't stop at humanity. He'd wipe out everything, leaving behind a barren wasteland ready for conquest. And Godzilla knows that, and he will have to put a stop to him. It could really add depth to the character, and based on the early comments about the film, that's exactly the goal, with Wingard stating, before he left to work on his own film, that he wants to do for Godzilla what the New Empire did for Kong. With Zozlar Halawa, the monster that ate a star and became wicked, it's clearly something they've had in the works for quite some time now, with the cave paintings depicting one evil mutated titan belonging to his species, in which both the Godzillas and the Kongs had to team up to take down. This could very well be foreshadowing the events of Godzilla x Kong 3, where the great apes have to put aside their differences to assist Godzilla in a moment where lines are drawn and alliances are made. Previously, we had theorized that the Monsterverse's equivalent to SpaceGodzilla wouldn't come from space at all, but would be adapted to work as a Hollow Earth entity, supercharged by the core's radiation. But based on Dan Stevens' cryptic message, we may get the space in SpaceGodzilla after all. The stars may be aligning to bring this classic cosmic horror finally to the Monsterverse, which I'd be all for, as long as they have a logical origin for him. This could very well be the start of the next true phase of the Monsterverse. If the series up to this point was about introducing the Hollow Earth, this era is about introducing galactic threats. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Monsterverse expand to unimaginable territory. But what do you think about SpaceGodzilla returning? Well, over on Twitter I asked exactly that, and this is what you had to say. Make sure to follow us at DangerVille Team and keep an eye out for the hashtag DangerReplies for a chance to be featured in a video. Be sure to subscribe and stomp the notification button to become a resident of Dangerville today. Let us know in the comments if you think Dan is hinting towards SpaceGodzilla in the Monsterverse. It's looking more and more likely by the day. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.